There we go. Hey everybody, I'm here. I'm just typing into the Second Life chat window to let everybody know about this stream is up. So if you don't hear me talking, that's because I'm typing away. So let me post it. This one too. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Antiquity Medieval Build Kit, which I put out about a week ago, I guess, which I say is for one-story buildings because I don't provide stairs, I don't provide balconies, I don't provide things that you would need to be able to do a second or higher stories, because I plan on putting out a kit for an add-on kit for the second floor stuff, including stairs and a whole bunch of other things. But last night I was thinking about this, and I thought, actually I have a way that you can use this kit to do that, but you have to build your own stairs. So I thought it would be interesting to play with that and do a stream and a recording of me doing that, and hopefully it's going to work. I haven't done it, I haven't tested it, so I don't know for sure that it's going to work. But we'll know as we go forward and try it out. So you'll be my witnesses to whether or not it actually works. Feel free to join in the chat if you want. I can't guarantee that I'll be paying 100% attention to it because I get kind of lost in my thoughts as I do this. So anyway, that's what it's all about. We're going to try this. So again, this is the Antiquity Medieval Build Kit, and should probably close that. Alright, so it's the Antiquity Medieval Build Kit, which comes with a bunch of separate parts that you can see here in the window that lets you create custom, unique medieval buildings using sort of a prefab components, which all of them have texture changers in them, so that you can, from one master script, you can actually change the textures of all the parts in your build to get it to look the way you want, and then you can go through and remove the scripts and take that out to reduce the the number of scripts and things that are there once you have it the way you want it. But the kit comes with these pieces that you see here. These are floor sections. There's a 7x7, a 15x15, and this is kind of a combination. It's a 7x15, and with these you can lay them out and you can extend the footprint of your building to be as small or as large as you want. Then you have different kind of wall sections, including walls with windows, walls with doorways, solid walls with different patterns. You have 3 different kinds of windows, like 1 pane, 4 panes, and 9 panes, and then both of those come with 2 different kinds of glass. There's the clear glass that you see here, which is called dirty glass, and then there's a more like a leaded glass or stained glass look to it, and varying degrees of transparency from opaque to 20, 40, 60, and 80% transparent. So you have a bunch of different options for how the glass actually looks. It includes steps, includes a door, which my door is disappeared because I actually used my door over here and I didn't make a copy of it. So my door is here. So this is a building I did in my last video, which is very, very small. It was a quick video. I just wanted to do something fast. So I made a very small little building here, which we'll go ahead and delete, because we're going to start a new one. So let's start with the 15 by 15 base. Bring it over here a little closer. Let's go ahead and drop it down, because I noticed the other day when I did this, they were all floating in midair. So we've got our little base there, and let's put a wall think about this for a second. Let's do a 7 by 7 in the front to have the doorway. So let's make sure these are all at the same height, and to do that we just go to the one that I adjusted. This is where I want the height to be. You copy the Z parameter by highlighting it, doing Control C, then clicking on the 7 by 7, clicking in there to highlight the Z parameter and hit Control V to paste it. And now they're both at the same exact height, and we can pull that out to about there. It doesn't have to be perfect, because as I've explained in the other videos, wherever we have floors joined together or we have walls joined together, we can use our wood beams to cover the gaps and cover the seams so you don't see them and it looks more realistic. Now I want to have these things centered, so I don't want to spend a lot of time dorking around with trying to figure out what the centering is. So we're just going to snap it to the grid, and we'll snap it to just a convenient position on the grid. So this is 95 meters, so we'll just center everything on 95 meters that way. And it doesn't show me 95. There it does. Okay. Now, while I'm at it, let's go ahead and center this one the other direction so it's easier. So put that at 118, and then I'll just pull that back where it was. Up close so that there's touching. Okay, so now that's our floor. So you'll notice there's a very short wall here and a short wall here. Well, I anticipated that and created kind of this half wall here. So we'll go ahead and grab that. We'll pull two of them over there to use. Sorry, I'm not used to a 1080p window size, but for this video it's more convenient to have it at that size. My normal screen is a 4K wide monitor, so I have a lot more real estate to work with, so I'm struggling a little bit with moving my camera around on this much smaller space. Alright, so all of the walls are made so that one side is lighter and one side is darker. The darker side goes on the inside, the lighter side goes to the outside. So let's just put this wall kind of here. We can adjust as we go. If we need to shrink it a little bit, we can shrink it. If we need to stretch it, we can stretch it. Let's go ahead and just put it here and try to make sure there's no visible airspace or gap underneath it. So somewhere about there would be good. Then we can pull that to the other side and clone a copy, and we'll set it there for now. Now this is going to be our door. So let's go ahead and grab the wall with the doorway. And we'll pull it over here. Oops. Drag. If you're new to building and you don't know how to do that, it's you grab one of these handles, move it in different directions, so the green moves along this axis, the red moves along this axis, and the blue moves up and down. And then to clone or to copy this, you would hold the shift key down, and then just click and drag one of these different handles, and it makes a copy for you. So I don't need 2 of those, so I'm going to delete that. That's for people who've never done this before, but I'm assuming that most of you have. All right, so we want to put these at the same height again as these. So these walls that I've already set up. So let's copy their height and paste it into this doorway wall. And then we'll pull that to the front, as close to the front edge as we can get, and we'll adjust it as we go. Now, this can be centered on the floor by taking the green arrow and dragging it and snapping it to the 95 meter mark, which puts it in the exact center. Now I need a wall for both sides of this, so let's, we're not going to have windows in our entryway, because I don't want to do a lot of windows right now. So let's just take the plus, there's a wall that has like a plus pattern. We'll take 2 copies of that. One for this side, and one for that side. Turn it around so that the dark side is on the inside. And then just drag them close to in place. About there. And then you want to put them at the same height. I've already got that in my, I've already copied it, so it's still there. So if I just do Control V, should put it where I want. Yep. Do that for this one as well. And then we'll, I think we can, to get these to be the same, there's a gap here, so let's get rid of that gap. Kind of like that. Then I want that wall to be in the same position as this wall on the red axis, which is the x-axis, so I'm going to copy the x number, put it in there. And now let's go ahead and recopy that height of the z-axis so I can use it again as we do more floor pieces or more walls. All right, so that gives us our entry walls. Now let's put let's make this a little bit deeper by adding a 3rd floor piece, which is going to extend the floor. We're going to rotate that, and we'll snap it to 195, right? Snap it to 95 so it's centered as well. And then we will align the floor here. Aha, I gotta set the height of this one, so I wasted time copying that a minute ago. I gotta copy it off of this one. Okay, and then paste it onto the floor. Okay, and again, don't worry about this little gap here. We'll fix that with a wood beam. Just get it close. All right, so this side walls are now made to hold 3 different wall pieces. So this one, the 15 by 15 holds 2. The 7 by 15 holds 1 on the 7 meter, and then 2 across this way. So this just gives us a kind of deeper build. Let's put 1 window on each side because I'm being lazy today. The other day I did one that had a whole bunch of windows in it. It's not that bad. In fact, we'll do it. We'll have multiple windows here. So let's turn these so that the dark is on the inside. We will put 3 on each side because I changed my mind and I'm going to have a bunch of windows. Just because I want to show you how easy it actually is. Okay, all of those need to go to the same height as this one, so let's copy the Z parameter from that. Copy, and then we'll just paste it in each one. So right now you don't see the beams on that. It's because I haven't zoomed in. Once I zoom in, they'll be there, and I can zoom back out and they stay there. And we'll just keep pasting this into all of these. Get them up to the right height. And one more here. Actually, let me think about this. This one I'm not going to do because I'm going to put my stairs there. That's where my stairs are going to go. So let's go ahead and copy one, or not copy, just drag it over. Get it where I want it to be, roughly speaking, about there. Now I want to copy the green axis because I want these to line up perfectly with this. So let's just copy the green for this. Paste it into both of these. And now I have those here. And then I'm just going to spread this out to cover the opening like so. This one, just bring it up to the edge. And then this one, just bring it up to the edge of this. Just kind of make sure there's no gaps in there. And then bring this one up. And the floor is going to be a little bit bigger. That's okay. So the floor extends there because we're going to have another wall in the back to fill that space. There. Okay. Now, for this side, we're just going to copy the x-axis, the red axis, on these pieces, and that'll line these up. So let's go ahead and copy this one. It's a lot of copying and pasting when you do this because you're building a uniform structure and you want it all to have, you want things to be aligned. So we'll go ahead and copy that. And we will paste it into here. Then we'll pull it in, get it to the edge, kind of there. Now, this piece will copy both the X and Y axis. So we'll copy the X axis. It doesn't matter, we can just copy them both from this piece. So we'll copy the X axis from here. Oh, no. You copy the X axis from here. Think about it for a second. Paste that. That aligns it with the one across the way. But then the y-axis, the green axis, you want to copy from this one. We're going to paste it in there. Okay. Then for the back wall, I want solid pieces because this is going to be a tavern, and I'm going to put some bars in there. This might be an inn, but the first floor is a tavern, so it's going to have a bar in here. And I want the bar against the solid wall, so let's just use this wall. And there's two of them. And we need to rotate them so that the dark side is inside. And then there's nothing to really align with it, so we'll just make sure that there's no gap between the two of them. Pull that over a little bit more. That looks good. Then we will pull that to the back. And if I link these two together, then I could center it on the 95 meter mark, but I don't want to link them together until I've actually done my texture changes. So we'll just eyeball it, and oh, you can snap it, so it'll snap to 95. Because I have them both selected, I can snap it to 95. So I just learned something new. Now they don't touch here, so they're also lower. So I got to pull that up until they just touch. And then let's go ahead and get the height again from these. And we'll paste the height into here. And we'll go to the next one and we'll paste the height in there. Alright, so now they're at the right height and they're filling up the space. And we're getting a nice little building out of this. So why did I leave this corner over here empty? Well, that's because I want to have an area for my staircase. I want to build a staircase that's going to go up and around with a landing on it. And I don't want to put it here in the main floor, because then I would have to have a floor with a hole in it, and I don't really have a floor with a hole in it. So we're going to do it this way. Now, that means I need to put an extension of the building off to the side. And for that, I'm going to use the 7x7 floor, which is over here. I'm going to copy it and drag it over to that side. Make sure the height is the same by copying the height from this one, pasting it into the new floor. Control C, Control V. And then we're going to put the floor where we want it. We can line it up like that. That's fine. We'll see how it looks in a minute when I put walls in here. Okay. So I want solid walls for this, so I'm just going to pull this wall and we're going to stick it out here a ways. There's a gap there, but I'm going to fill the gap with a beam. And we're going to pop that here. I'm going to do a third one here. And just put it in place. So now I'm just being not very accurate with my measurements here. I'm not copying and pasting, I'm just eyeballing it. And so they're touching. I can pull it more that way until they stop touching. That looks good. Okay. So yeah, I have these gaps here, which I'm going to fill in with a beam. All right. So if I come over here and walk inside my building, let's see what it looks like so far. This is the biggest one we've done yet. So. Wow, it's kind of huge. All right, so let's fill in these gaps here where the beams are. And to do that, we will go, visitor. We'll go over here and grab one of the bigger beams. And the walls are 5 meters high, so let's grab one that's 5 meters. So to do that, we'll go, this is 1 meter, 2 meters, 3 meters, 4 meters, 5 meters. So we'll take this one. And we'll drag it over there. I hope nobody naked shows up. Because that would be a violation. So I'm going to stick the beam in that gap. Almost naked. And then we will pull that up to the top. So what happens is, this used to be the landing area for my my store. And so I moved my store down about 400 meters, but a lot of people still land here. And when they do, they wander around. And so they pop into my videos sometimes. Okay, that's how you use a beam to fill a gap. So I did that. Okay. She's probably talking to me in chat and I'm ignoring her. I'm not ignoring her intentionally, it's just I can't really pay attention right this second. Okay, so now we have that. So for these, you can do the same thing. We're going to put a beam on the floor here, and we're going to put a beam on the floor here. This gap is 7 meters across, roughly 7.5 meters. This is about 15 meters. So what we'll do is we'll go back and we'll grab, it doesn't have to be that big. We'll use probably, let's use this beam. We'll get ones at 7 meters. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we'll get one that's 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That's 16, 15, Alright, so those are the two beams that I'm going to use to fill my gaps. So let's go back over there. And put it in place. So let's make sure of that. I'm going to rotate them to be... Rotate them so that they're horizontal. And then this one's going to go where those come together. Ooh, that doesn't need to be that way. It's alright, I'll shrink it. Oh, it's in the air, that's why it looked that way. Each one of these beams is less than a prim, and when you link it together, they don't add much to the build. So, but it looks so much better when you have them. And this is what buildings actually look like. Cover that seam. Well, I have one more over there that I need to do too. Right, we can center that on 95. Right? Okay. If it sticks out, just shrink it. It's not sticking out. Okay. So then I need to take this one, copy it, and we're going to cover that other seam right there. Just place it there. Okay. So now we have... Oh, that's kind of high. I don't like that. Let's lower that down. You don't want people tripping over it, right? You just want it to cover the gap. Okay. So now we have that done. We're going to build our stairs. So this space is 7. Here, I'll show you with prims. So we're going to do... We want a staircase to kind of go up from here, and about that wide. So that's 2.5. So if I go 3, let's see what it looks like at 3. So it's going to go up, have a little landing, and then go up, and have another landing, and then come across. Okay, so we'll grab 3-meter beams to make the stairs with. We're going to build our staircase out of sticks. So how wide do I want each step to be? That's probably the right size. So 1, 2, 3. So I have a 2-meter long one and I have a 3-meter long one. Let's do the 3-meter long one, and if I can shrink it down, then I will. I mean, if I need to shrink it down, I will. Oops. Just do the right key. Drag it. Okay. Alright. So there's a step. The dark side down. This is a step in our staircase. Now, personally, I think that it's probably okay width-wise. Alright, so we want our staircase to start about here. And you don't want it to go too tall. In fact, I think I'm going to make these narrower. Let's stretch this and we'll take it down to about there. And then I'm going to shorten it a wee bit. Okay, I think that's better. So this is going to be the first step, like that. And then, easy way to do this, if you just, it doesn't matter where it is right now because we'll adjust it. It's better to snap this to the grid. So we're going to use the blue Z and we're going to snap it to, let's put it there. Then we will clone another one and we'll just go, my grid is at 0.125 meters. So that's 2 snaps up. And we'll just keep doing that. We'll grab both of them and we'll do the same thing. We're going to clone them and put them 2 steps up. Now we'll clone the whole thing and pull it up. Get to there. And now we can spread them out. So let's take all of the ones except the bottom one, and we'll take all of them first, and we're going to snap it to the grid. So we'll snap it there. Then uncheck the bottom one, and then we're going to snap it like this until they just go past. Oh, did I clone? I copied them. I don't want to copy them. We want to move them. Sorry. Everybody makes mistakes. Okay, now don't hold shift down. We're just going to snap them. 1, 2. You can have them overlap a little bit if you want, but they don't have to. I think I will have them overlap. Okay, then just unselect the bottom one, and then do the same thing. That's 3 snaps to get them there. Deselect the bottom one. 1, 2, 3. Deselect the bottom one. 1, 2, 3. Deselect the bottom one. 1, 2, 3. Oops, I think I went too far. Oop, I didn't. And just keep doing this. Now you have steps, right? And let's see if they work. This is the big test. This is the big test. Can I walk up it? Yes, I can. All right. Now, does that get me halfway up? Not quite, right? Let's just do one more. I hope. We're going to do one more. One, two, 3. All right. Now we will copy all of these like that. Rotate it 90 degrees. And then we're going to pull it up until it is just above that top step. Like so. Now, does that get us high enough? Almost. It really needs to go up to about there. So I think we need let me think about that. We need to go about here, and then this can come up because it's on the bottom of the floor, right? So let's oops, not that one. Where'd that bottom step go? Is that there? Is that okay? That's it. One, 2. And then these can go up one more snap. That looks like a pretty big step there, though. Slide it all the way to the back. Like so. I don't think I need this last one. Get rid of that. And then we will look at these. Pull that in like that. we'll put these into the wall a little bit, because you notice they're not touching the wall here. If you look closely, you can see it doesn't touch the wall. So we can move them more that way. What you want is you want the left side of this and the right side of that to be about lined up. Okay, now I need a landing here. So there's a bunch of different ways you could do that. I don't have, this is what I'm talking about in the kit, the add-on kit that I'm going to do, which will have stairs built for it. It'll have landings on the stairs already built. Oh, I just realized there's a problem here. Yep. This has to rotate. You can't have the steps going into, there's going to be a wall here. It's going to walk right into the wall. You don't want that. So you want, think about this, think about this, think about this. Okay. Think how a stair actually is in real life, right? I'm going to link these, and then I'm going to move them over there. Okay, and I'm going to link these. The stairs needs to have, there needs to be a place here for you to approach the steps, right? So if I were to, let me think about this. If I put this here, like this, I can put it all the way up to here. Then I need to have stairs that go up to here, but they need to go up only halfway because there needs to be floor. Right? I think the problem is they're too wide. I can narrow this down a little bit. Let me show you what I mean. You need a landing, right? I'll do it with prims for now, because I don't have floor pieces done. I could copy this floor and I could shrink it, but then the boards won't look right. The texture won't look right. Or I could build it. I could just build it using these. Let me do that. Unlink that again. So instead of a step here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a floor. Like this. So now, when you go up the steps, like this, you're actually on a landing. And then I would go up a set of steps from here, and then there would be another landing. So I could clone this. I think this might work. Let me shrink these down. I didn't need a board this wide. I could go back and get another board, but I'm not going to do that. Let's just make them 2 meters. 2 meters. We'll snap all these to 2 meters and then see how that works. Maybe too many. Like I said, I haven't done this, so I probably should have done this before I made the video, but I just wanted to do it and get this out there so people could see it. I'm not a professional videographer. I'm not trying to be a professional videographer. I am a professional I don't know what I am. Okay, so these are all too high. Just notice they're floating in midair. So let's lower this down. Did I lose? Maybe I lost a step somewhere. Okay. Yeah, I think I have too many of these too. Let's get rid of 2 of them. Alright. And then I'm going to put these towards the back of this little room. Right, that's what you would see if you were looking at a staircase in real life, right? You would see something that looks like this. And then I think this was going to work. Pull this that way if I need to. Linked it, copied it, or rotate it, pull that up, move it over, to this one. That needs to go all too. And it doesn't have to go all the way up. Yep, doesn't line up. This needs to go higher before I get here, and then this needs to stop about. I think I get rid of this one. Get rid of this. Raise. Let's unlink the whole thing. Okay, and we're going to pull this landing up to here, like so. And these I'm going to back up. And I need to get probably 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 more steps. So let's grab 4 and see if it's too many. Shift. Just kind of snap it up. Close enough. As they say, close enough for government work, right? Now I will link all of these pieces. And I can delete these out here. I don't need them anymore. Now we have a staircase. But I don't have any. I'm going to put some vertical sticks in here too, to give it, make it look like it has support. Because right now it's a magical staircase. Da, 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 go up the stairs, da, 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 go up the stairs, da, 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 and now I'm upstairs. Okay, so. Ooh, but my feet are actually in there. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. So I think to solve that problem, because this is these are mesh, what you can do is you put a ramp in here. So let's do that. I'm gonna build, and I'll just use one of these. Actually, I think I can do a cube. And then we'll just stretch it out, flatten it down, pull it over, and rotate it down. So we're going to put a ramp on top of these stairs. This is what you do when you have mesh that doesn't have physics. You basically create your own physics using prims. So that looks okay. Stretch it down until it hits the floor. Stretch it up until it hits where I want it to hit there. And we will take it and do the same thing over here. Kind of like across. Don't need that. Stretch that here. And then we need one for the landing. Like this. More. Kind of like that. And then bring it over. And I just realized that isn't going to reach the floor. This is going to have to be higher. There's probably going to need to be another one in there. Because the floor is going to be up here. This is going to be a wall, right? There's going to be a floor here. The floor is going to be right there. So it's a little short. Let's just take it and these and pull them up. Oh, I don't need all of them. Oh, it's because it's all linked. And then this one we're going to stretch. Now let's see if I can walk up it more appropriately. Now do my feet go in the floor? Nope. And then all you do is you make that transparent. Make these little prim pieces. Actually, that one needs to go higher. Make them transparent. Is that too high? Takes a little bit of finesse to get it right. Okay. Now we're just going to make these transparent. And they're gone. You can't see them anymore. But I'm standing on it. Okay. Now the second floor, I haven't created flooring for the second floor yet, so you could use the floor that's down here, but then the bottom of it won't have a ceiling imprinted on it. So what you could do is you can use prims for the floor, and then you put your own textures on it to give you a ceiling and a floor. Or you can wait until I do the kit. But this was an experiment, because I just thought we could do it, and we can. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to be sneaky, and I'm going to clone my floor that I have down here, which is this one, and this one. Clone it up like this. Then I'm going to unlink it and take the bottom off of it, which is the foundation part, because we don't need a foundation up here. And you'll notice the bottom is see-through, right? So how are we going to solve that? Well, we're going to clone it again. Then we're going to rotate that 180 degrees. And then lower it beneath the other floor. And now your floor is your ceiling. And we can link that together. And now we have a floor. It's a little, the size is a little off, so I would unlink that. And then shrink it down just enough to make it fit perfectly. So like this one. I would do that. Really shrink it because you don't want this sticking out. On the first floor it's okay, but you don't want it sticking out up here. Oh, forgot. Gotta do the bottom too. Probably should have done them both at the same time. It's not super important to be perfect, but you know, because I can put beams around the stuff to hide some of this. Don't want to adjust that side. Do this one. Alright, that's good enough. For what we're doing, that's good enough. Alright, and then it still leaves me, I need to have a floor that covers this area here. I don't have one. But what I will do is just for now, because I don't have a proper floor, I will not use this piece. I'm not going to use that. I'll use this one. It's smaller. I don't want to stretch it too much. Got to get the bottom and the top. And then we can pull it over here. Put it in place. Kind of like that. And then just stretch it. It's not perfect because the boards get smaller when you stretch them. Right? And then make sure you do the bottom of it too. But it can't be here. You got to come off. You got to get out of the way of that because you can't come up the stairs if the ceiling's in the way, right? Try to get those aligned right, like that. Okay. And then what I can do is I can put a beam here and I can put a beam here to cover the edge. I can put a beam there. But let's see if it works. Go up the stairs, go up the stairs, and now I'm on the second floor. Now, how do I get the walls on the second floor? We're just going to copy them. Like this. We're not going to put a door on the front, so I'll have to put a wall there. All of them. And then just shift, drag, pull it up to there. Now we have a second floor. Let's go ahead and stick a roof on this bad boy. $95 is where the roof goes. Pull it over here. Bring it up until it just touches about there. Oh yeah, I need a wall here. Let's just take this one. Oops, I pulled them up too high, so I gotta lower them down a little bit. And I'm just selecting all the pieces, and then I noticed that they were too high, so pull it down. Do they meet? That's sticking out. I can fix that. There's a lot of cleanup that I got to do. Lower this back down. Then I need a 7x7 and a 7x7 roof to cover those spots. So we'll grab that one. Go ahead and copy that from the front while I'm here. Rotate it. Drop it down. And I'm just really eyeballing it now because I've been doing this longer than I wanted to. And I want to go to bed. It's late. I'm tired. About there. Take this one. Drop it down to here. That one goes on 95 as well. Bring it to the front. And other than putting windows in there, which we can do very easy in a door. So the door is here. I'm just going to copy the door, drag it over. Can't see through walls. And so you want to make it so that the hinge just goes up and touches against the wood. So kind of zoom in there and look for where the hinge part just touches the wall like that. That's good enough. And then you want to move it over and up until it fills the gaps. About there, maybe a little higher. That looks good enough for right now. And then windows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 12 windows, right? So we'll just take this one. And I'm going to show you the fast and easy way to do this. Okay, so this side is lighter than this side, so this side goes in. Then we're going to clone this kind of like that to get us the right number of windows. And then all you do is you copy this position, the whole position. Go to Object, hit C, which copies that, and then click the window and hit Paste. Copy, hit the window, paste. I did this because I centered where the window goes to make it easy to do this. So you just copy, hit the window, and paste. You just do that on all 6 windows. Copy, paste, copy, paste. And then if you take all of them, but we don't need them all. We don't need all of them. Rotate them around. We get rid of these 2 we don't need. Do the same thing. Copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, oops, copy, paste. I almost moved the wall to where the window was. Copy and paste. And now, am I inside? Yeah. Ooh, why do I have a gap here? Oh, it's the same gap I had down below. So I can move this, center it. I could go get a taller beam, which is what you should do, right? You want, this is 7, you want one that would be 15 meters high probably. But I'm lazy right now, so I'm not going to do that. I would not recommend stretching it that much because it deforms a little bit. It's not so bad, actually. It didn't deform that bad. Okay. And then, didn't I have, yeah, I have one here. Inside. Move it like that. so that it shows, yeah, it goes the outside. And then I'll stretch that one too. Kind of like that. Maybe rotate it. Okay, and then, so we had the same thing going on with the floor and the ceiling, so you might want to copy those as well. Just pop them up to here like that. So they come through the ceiling and the floor, they cover the seams perfectly. And then here, like I said, you would probably want to put that around here like this. And again, I would get the right size boards for this, but for right now, I'm just going to stretch them. And you want one here. Just to cover that. So, doesn't need to be that one. Put it in here. Only thing missing now are the sticks to hold this up, and we'll go grab some of those. So, the ones I'm going to use are the smallest sticks, and I'm going to get ones that are, let's say, 7 meters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's do 6 meters, and then I'll stretch them as needed. It's not in here. It's over here somewhere. Okay, and then just make sure that it's square to the compass points on the axis. Okay. And this is just creative building, and we have fun with it. So again, use the right size sticks. Don't stretch this much because it deforms when you stretch it, but we're kind of in a hurry. So, but that's the great thing about having these. Is you can do this kind of fun building with it. So you need something like that for your stairs. Maybe pull it out to the end, I don't know. And stretch this end so it's there. You can even clone it and put it on the other end as well. Flatten it, make it skinnier. And then this is going to be a post that's going to go over here. And again, like I said, don't do what I'm doing. Go get the right size post from the thing over there. And just, if I were building this for a real build, like to sell to somebody, I would definitely be doing that. Or if I was building this for my own sim, if it looks okay, I would do this. So there we go, that. Not that. Okay, just this. Sometimes it gets hard to see in these little tight spaces, but right. And you know, I've said this many times in these videos, it doesn't have to be perfect because this is a medieval build, and medieval builds were kind of rustic and they weren't necessarily super finished. So it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just perfect, as perfect as you want it to be. There you go. And for me, I think that's good enough for tonight. I'm satisfied with what we have. Now, there's a lot more you could do. Oh, I just fell through a hole in something. Probably where they came together. So if you have holes like that where you fall through, I don't know why I fell through. I would have to spend some time trying to figure it out. You can put a prim down over top of it. You can put a prim floor here and then make it transparent. So like I could just come in and drop a box here. Hello. Okay, why is it not putting any boxes here? Probably because I'm doing it on top of mesh, and sometimes it's very picky about that. So if I go in and I do that. Put this in this. It's just one prim. It's not going to make, it's not going to really matter. If you wanted to cover the whole thing, you can go out like that. No one's ever going to step there, so they're not going to notice it. And then you just make this whole thing transparent. So now what happens when I walk up the stairs? Go up the stairs, walking on the floor. I'm walking. I don't fall through any holes. Yay. So I now have, I got the windows there. Where'd my windows go? Did I? Oh, I didn't clone them earlier. Yeah, I would clean that up too. But we can do the same thing with the beam here. We take a beam, put it there, right, so that it covers the gap. You could also take a beam here, stretch get the right size one, or stretch so that it covers all of that. Right, and then do the same thing there. Or if you want to watch something really super sneaky, watch this. That's editable too. So you can do edit link. And then stretch that. It's not the most recommended way of doing it, but whatever. Whatever works for you. I'd go grab a beam and I would do that, or I would move that. I'd probably move the floor in, and then we've already got the gap covered with the beam, so it's okay. Let's put these windows. Let's do the windows again. So I want to have a finished look when I walk out of here. This is this way. Yeah, so I must not have cloned them earlier when I did this. I just moved them, and that's why they aren't here anymore. Again, it's just copy and paste. Go for position, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. So now we have a two-story building with windows in all the windows. And how hard was that? Not hard at all. And when you link this whole thing together, it's not even going to be that primmy either, because these are all mesh pieces, and they're very low poly mesh. So It looks pretty darn good to me. Yeah, probably should have put windows in there because it looks almost like a church now. What else? Oh yeah, texture changer. So let's say now that I've got it all assembled, did I link things together? Yeah, I linked a couple things. So the things that I linked together might not work with the texture changer right now because I'm linking it kind of breaks the texture changer on those parts. So I shouldn't have linked anything until I had the textures the way I wanted. I think the only thing I linked was the floor, so I won't change the floor. Let's just change the walls. So let's go. I'm gonna click this, and then on the menu you can change the roof to a different kind of roof. Let's do slate roof. So now I have a slate roof instead of a shingles roof. Let's go back and change the walls to be stucco tan. So now all the walls are stucco. And on the windows, let's go to the glass option, and we'll do the medieval windows opaque. See, they're like stained, they're like stained glass. But you can't see through them, so let's make them a little bit transparent. Let's do 20% clear. So now if I go over and walk inside, I should probably change clothes if I'm, oh, I need steps. I always forget to do the steps, because this is a big thing, I mean a big step up. So that's why I created a little step. Steps. Pull them over to just in front of the door. You can lower them down. I put a shadow on the thing so you can see where it is. Like right there's the shadow. And again, this should go to 95 because that's where we centered everything. I also have texture changers for the step. If you want to pick a different one, you can do that from the texture changer here too. Let's go with, I think that's flagstone. Let's do dirty. Why not? Oops. It's missing. Oops. Let's not do that. What? It says they're missing. They're in there. Right there. I don't know why it's doing that. I'll have to investigate that and figure that out. But, I maybe have to send out an update if that's not working right. Worked perfectly fine the other day. Anyway, so let's go inside, click the door, it opens, walk inside, and we have our finished 2-story building. So if you want to know how many LI just the stairs are, I can show you that. So that's this piece, this piece, this piece, this piece, this piece. Let's get the 2 supports. Support here and a support there. That's the whole stairs, other than the invisible walking prims. So let's link that together. Stairs is 16 prims. So that staircase is only 16 prims, plus the 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 4 prims that I put there for to walk on. So it's 20 prims maximum for that little staircase right there, which isn't bad at all. Anyway, so I'm brain dead. Whee, as I jump down. And I think I'm going to head out of here. But, you know, I did this very rapidly, and it's a little sloppy. If I was really doing this for a sim to play with, not just for a demo purpose, I would have taken a lot more time and done it a little more precisely and cleaned it up more. But that ain't bad. If you want, let me select everything. I'll move it out of the way. Let me select everything, and you can see how many prims it is right now. And then I'll, like I said, linking it will break the texture changers because it's not made that way. Looks like I got everything. Yeah, I got everything. So right now this building is 188 prims, which is a little high. But let's link it, and it dropped down to 139. So this 2-story tavern is 139 prims. All right, well that's it for this stream. I'm going to kill the stream, and this video will be available on YouTube for you to look at later. I'm probably going to edit the beginning and clean it up a little bit, take out the getting started part. But anyway, I hope you appreciated that. I hope you understand how it works, and I hope you enjoy using the Antiquity Medieval Build Kit, even to make 2-story buildings, when I said that's not what it's for. See ya.